Welcome back to This Is Not CBC.
We all grew up watching heroes, watching icons, celebrities, entrepreneurs, millionaires. We idolize them. On TV, you saw their mansions, their fancy toys, their lavish lifestyle. Maybe we believed that could be us one day.
Your host on this exclusive edition of Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous is celebrity interviewer Robin Leach.
But life happens. Most of us wake up to the hard truth. We'll never be that. We'll never own a private jet. We'll never yacht off the coast of somewhere fancy. And yet, our government apparently has faith, big faith in us, especially when many of us are sleeping in tents, lining up at food banks, holding on to our last dollar.
So in typical Liberal fashion, it's dithering, it's delays, it's kick the can down the road. We're hearing stories about our troops using food banks and relying on food donations. You said yourself that the recruitment and retention crisis put the Canadian Armed Forces in a death spiral. You have said that we're short 6,700 military housing units right now, and we have troops that are living in their cars, they're living rough, they're living in tent cities, and we hear those stories all the time.
Because what did they decide to do? What did they make sure was in that new big budget of theirs? They cut taxes for private jets and yachts. Not for groceries, not for gas, not for essentials we average Canadians need but can barely afford. Nope, they chose them.
Deficits, working Canadians have never had it so tough. People lined up at food banks and parents putting beef back on the grocery store shelf were desperate for something in the budget to bring prices down. Did the Prime Minister scrap hidden taxes on food? No. Did he scrap the 17 cents fuel standards tax? No. The Prime Minister heard the cries of working Canadians, and what did he do? He scrapped the luxury tax on private jets and yachts. That's right, the only measure in this budget to make things cheaper will only apply to boats and airplanes. Can the Prime Minister tell us how many Canadians lined up at food banks will benefit from the private jet tax cut?
Let's talk numbers. Canada has a population of about 40 million people, right, give or take. Now, there are about 2 million Canadians who have a net worth of $1 million or more. So that's roughly 5% of the population. And within that group, the multi-millionaire club, the folks with many millions number in the hundreds of thousands of family. Let's just say 170,000 for argument's sake. That means fewer than 0.5% of Canadian households qualify. But you know what surprises me? Given the size of our so called liberal voter base, I always assumed there would be a lot more people swimming in cash.
If they really wanted to give workers a break, they'd scrap the industrial carbon tax that their American competitors don't have to pay. Now we all know who this budget really was for. It was a Brookfield boardroom budget. After all, the billions in extra debt means bankers and bondholders get big interest payments, and now when those board members go out to buy a luxury private jet, they get a big tax break.
Liberal voters, they're always so eager to give money away. Must be easy to give when you've got the millions rolling in, right? And while we're talking about investing in our future, let's be blunt. We're told, oh, yes, told by the government that we must save, invest, plan. We must buy into what could be. The Liberal government's version of investing in our future might as well be renamed gambling with our future. Because while you and I are tightening belts, skipping extras, staring at grocery bills, guess what happens? Corporate handouts, taxpayer money funneled to companies that may never deliver. Let's get specific. The government handed tens of millions of dollars in support to Aspire Food Group, the world's largest cricket protein factory in London, Ontario, a facility capable of 13 million kilograms of edible crickets a year. Yet now, receivership, massive layoffs, the promise of cricket steaks, cricket energy bars, cricket falafels gone off the rails. That's your money, my money, our money wagered on crickets. And while this is happening, they cut taxes for yachts and jets. Meanwhile, you, me, the person paying for this investment game, we're told to save, to invest, to believe, because we're the ones who must carry the risk, not them. The multimillionaire, they can afford to lose. They can buy the yacht or the jet or the factory, take the risk. They have fallback. Us, we're not at that table. We're outside watching. Tents, food banks, grocery lines, gas prices, wages stuck. And they're cutting taxes for jets and yachts? So let me ask you, can you afford higher taxes to be gambled with? Can you afford that bet that your government is placing on the wealthy? Because that's exactly what this looks like. Maybe one day we'll find our jackpot. Maybe we'll hit it big. But until then, the question every Canadian needs to ask: who is really being supported here? Thanks for watching.